Guru Nation, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. I wanted to make a quick video for you guys and gals. I'm reading lots of posts. I'm talking to lots of people. Layoffs at the sponsor level. Even more layoffs at the CRO level. Sites, some, like maybe the bigger sites. Not the smaller sites. Tech vendors, interestingly, not. Unless they're not doing well to begin with, then that would have happened anyways. I'm reading a really good book called The Sovereign Individual, and I'm not going to get into it. I think it's a great book for everyone to read, and it inspired me to make a video called The Sovereign Clinical Researcher, and maybe I'll turn it into an article. But in the information age, which we're clearly in, I mean, we're here talking about AI. We're here talking about AI displacing jobs. We're at least talking about globalization displacing jobs, which is remnants of the industrial age, maximizing efficiency and allocating resources to where the return on those resources are maximized at the expense of people who are getting higher salaries in higher paying countries. I mean, that's happening. Like the growth of Latin America in clinical research, displacing some of these support roles, especially the CROs. No one's discussing it. I don't know why. It's not a secret. I've been talking about it for 2 years. CRAs and CRCs, I don't think are getting displaced anytime soon, even by AI. I've written an article on this. But if you are somebody in this field, I don't care if you just got laid off, I don't care if you have a secure job, I don't care if you're in business for yourself, I don't care if you're trying to get in, you should be sovereign. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you have everything you need at your fingertips right here. You have telephones, you have computers, you have social networks, you have, I don't care what country you're in, you have internet. You have the ability to learn. You have the ability to network. You have the ability to connect with people. And people are still stuck in this old mindset of, what will my employer do for me? Or, woe is me because I was laid off because they found efficiencies in Latin America. Or something along those lines. Listen, that sucks. I know it sucks. I got through during the Great Recession of 2008. My site lost 4 studies just like that. I was in debt. I took out operating loans for working capital. I took payday loans basically for working capital and barely got through it to finance my employees so that I didn't have to lay people off. Matter of fact, I expanded during that time. That ended up being a mistake. The point of all this is not to say, hey, you know, it's easy for me to say this sitting on the other side and watching this, or as a side owner, you know, like we're not immune to this stuff either. But you have everything you need in the informational age to see things before they happen and to prepare yourself accordingly. You don't wait for somebody to give you an opportunity. You make it. You take it. There's a lot of people on LinkedIn, especially on LinkedIn, that are doing a really good job of this. They're not waiting for opportunities to come their way. They're taking it. And you have the opportunity to do that. Being in the information age, you can become sovereign. Part of our whole philosophy at Save Our Sites conference is teaching sites, and it trickles down to the individuals that work for or with sites, how to be independent, how to think for themselves, how to not depend on one paycheck, how to not depend on one company. And if you're an employee, of course, you're going to be working for one company at a time. But in that case, you should be thinking about your skill set. How long have I been at this company? And have I improved my skill set? Not did the company improve my skill set? Did the company give me the opportunity? Did you do it? And if you work for a company that doesn't do that, don't quit your job, especially not in this day and age. Be lucky you have a job, but network and find side gigs. We're in the gig economy at the end of the day. Remember in 2020, 2021, everyone's talking about the gig economy and how bullish we were, and everyone's having side gigs. That's easy to do when the economy is good, but when the economy is bad, only the ones who really want to do it take advantage of those things. The gig economy is still here. The silver lining in all these layoffs is consultants and contractors have never been busier. These are becoming sovereign clinical researchers. These are people who, it doesn't matter how many jobs CRO XYZ just laid off. CRO XYZ will contact this person and say, hey, we need help, we got a problem. Or sponsor XYZ will contact this gal and say, hey, can we pick your brain on this? Figure out ways, every single one of you watching, I don't care your experience level, has the potential. Some of you are closer to realizing the potential than others of doing this, of becoming sovereign and not depending on one company to feed you opportunities. You need to go out there and make those opportunities yourself. You don't have site experience? Go volunteer for sites. Contact 10 site owners in your area. Tell them that you have time on the weekends to volunteer or to build quality assurance systems for them if you're a CRA, or to help them with their electronic regulatory and see if they're compliant with their Adobe signatures and their DocuSigns and all these things, all these real issues that sites are having problems with. Go there. And the reason I focus on the sites so much is because right now, in 2024, it seems like the sites are busy. And the sites are the ones needing the help. You know, the CROs maybe got overextended. The sponsors, especially the larger sponsors, some of them are cutting costs. There's been mergers and acquisitions. I think a new wave of mergers and acquisitions is about to come as well for those biotech fans out there. You should be staying ahead of this curve, and you should be going and looking for where your skill set is lacking and adding that to your resume. Not waiting for somebody to hand you the opportunity. Going out and making it for yourself. And again, information's a commodity now. Everyone has access to the same information. You can learn anything you want with this thing. It's a matter of putting it together and getting the practical experience, not just the informational experience, but then learning with that information that you learned, going and making it actually happen, creating a value for another company, most likely a site that you're going to actually be able to, even if it's not make a lot of money off of it, boost your skill set tremendously to where the next time layoffs happen, you won't be waiting for another job. The jobs will already come back to you. And the interesting thing about this, the people that are already pulling this off properly and that have been pulling this off since the last economic downturn and then culminating at 2020 during the pandemic surge of studies, they don't need jobs. They don't want jobs. The last thing they want is a job. They've got plenty of gigs. They've got enough to keep themselves sovereign, keep their families sovereign, and not be at the mercy of one particular company. Ever again. If that was you, just make a vow to yourself, never again become a sovereign clinical researcher. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know what you think about this. Bye-bye.